Okay, so this is part 2 of how I wrote Guide to the Mindful Way of Life, which is the first book that I wrote, which is an 8-chapter book, which goes with the 8-week course which I run as an introduction to mindful meditation. This is the book. So it started off handwritten, as I said in part 1, handwritten in these 2 notebooks. Very mobile. The reason why I did that was to imagine, as I was writing, that I was writing a book, as opposed to writing on a laptop, directly into a laptop. And so that can be distracting. It can be, the information can, in a sense, just dissolve into the hard drive or onto a memory stick, whereas writing it in a book like that, you have a book to show for it. Regardless of what happens to the content, you still have the book that you've written. I found that very, very helpful for this first book. Then, after writing the entire book of 8 chapters in these small notebooks by hand, I then transferred it onto my laptop. So that was an edit. In a sense, that was like the first main edit. I transferred it almost word for word onto a Word file on my laptop. And then I reviewed that. It went through an editing process. After that, I then printed it out into just a document like this, an A4. Very simple, you can get done at most printers. Just one document. And as you can see, this has been edited as well. This is the entire book printed on A4. So at the time I wrote this, the book was just going to be called Mindful. That was the title of the book. Yeah, with these 8 chapters. So I printed it out again. This kind of size is very handy because it lends itself for editing, large A4. And this was again edited by hand, so I went through it by hand. Very mobile, so when I was out and about I took this out and then edited it by hand. Then, I mirrored that against the edit here and then updated the edit on the computer. No one else has seen the document at this point. While this was taking place, I was also, and this is what I would say was the most helpful part of the writing, I was teaching the content of the book. So as some of the people who were coming to my classes in 2016, early 2016, I was actually sometimes reading from these books. And I was getting feedback and sometimes the questions that were asked in the classes. I was then able to update the file which was on the computer to make it more relevant and to make it the best possible introduction I could for mindful meditation. So this is 2016, going through 2016, 2017. This was produced, then editing it up here. And then in March 2018, when I was in Thailand, I printed out the book, the first book. Just one copy, just hardback. This was actually done by hand in a printer, so they generally, they don't specialize in books, but they do sometimes do books. So they made this hardback copy of the book and just printed out. At this point it wasn't really highly formatted as a book, but it was again just giving me the opportunity to see what it looked like as a book and then to be able to edit that again. So I would read that. I didn't actually update this by hand, I read it and then updated the file again on the computer. And then at that point it was looking more working with the computer, so happy with the content. I'd done everything from my side that I could. Then I forwarded it to what is known as a copy editor. I hired a copy editor who was then able to professionally edit the document. Fantastic feedback and detail that she shared with me. And you can see here the copy editor is listed here, Hannah Danson. So I sent it to her, and after several weeks of copy editing, she then sent the book back. We discussed some of the changes, then it was updated, and then that process took a while because some of the updates to then make it flow, that was another edit. So after she copy edited the text, then I edited it again, and after that, as can be seen here, it was sent finally to Lindsay Hill, who proofread the entire document. Yeah, she proofread the entire document, sent it back to me. Then I reviewed all her reading, then did a final edit, and then it was printed. And this is the final text that was printed after this process. So, handwritten, transferred that handwritten file onto a Word file. Then, so that was one edit. Then print that out onto an A4 file. Then hand edit that again, that's another edit. Then transfer those edits onto the Word file again. Then print that out into a book, just one hardback book, just to feel the size of it and how it flows as the book. Then start working with editors to a copy editor, and then a proofreader, and then a formatter to bring it all together to make a book like this. Then, with respect to the book itself, I had a clear idea how I wanted the book to look. I'm a lover of books, just the feeling of books, and I was worked with a TJ International, fantastic printers based in Cornwall, using very high quality paper in the cover and also the paper inside the book. I wanted to give the reader a feeling of, when they had it in their hand, peace and calm. So we'll go into the cover design and so forth at a later date, but just wanted to look at the actual process of writing the book. Thanks for your attention. Have a great day.